Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, I should say. It's getting dark back there. It's another Mondays with Mohip. Sorry I missed last week. Last week I got a little bit sick, but I think we made up with it on Thursday with a great live session with some really great news that I'll again go over today. Just wanted to, just dive right into it, as I know a lot of you will be watching this after it's live, and it might be a Wednesdays with Mohip by the time you get to it. But either way, I just want to be able to, kind of give you a quick update of what's happening around the district, some great things that we could celebrate and, just share together. And then, the highlight of it is just taking questions, anything that you might have, any questions, things that are on your mind, happy to try and answer to the best of my ability. And if I can't, make sure we get back to you. So as I always do, it's Monday, right? And we switch bag reports to Monday so I can remind everybody that bag reports should be in your emails. We sent them home with your kids today. Again, if you don't know, I don't know where you've been, but if you don't know, our bag reports are those weekly progress reports that we send out. Behavior, attendance, grades. We send it out to each student. And if you look on there, you could actually see by class your child's attendance. So you might be sending them to class every day, but they may not always be going to those classes. So, if they're absent, we should see consistency. But there are some times where, kids are missing 3 or 4 classes, and then there's that one class that they're missing like 15. So that's a good opportunity to talk to your child to find out why they're not going to the class. I know that we're doing the same and having conversations between you and our district, our school, and your child will hopefully get them to attend classes as they should. Because I was sick, I didn't get a chance to just have a quick conversation around parent-teacher conferences. I hope that parent-teacher conferences went well for you. We still had the regular 1 to 3 p.m., but then we tried something a little bit different, kind of throwback to the COVID years of having the having the virtual sessions. And I know, shout out to Jenny Barbahan, our president of the board, who was really pushing for this. We were finally able to make it happen this year, and we used a program called TESS, or Meet the Teacher. And the nice thing about this is that it allowed you to schedule all the classes that your child went to, or you would just hit a button and it would schedule it for you. And we had a tremendous amount of parent-teacher conferences that happened. We know that, because we were starting a new system and trying to get our teachers trained on it, it did hit a little bit slow. So I apologize for that, but we will get messaging out for the spring parent-teacher conferences a good 3 to 4 weeks in advance, so you can really take the time to set your schedule and make sure you're getting to the classes that you want to. If you, for some reason, didn't get to meet with one of the teachers, just reach out to them. Email the teacher or email the principal. If you're not getting a response, email me. If you have if there's a conversation that you need to have with the teacher, we want you to be able to have it, and we'll make sure that we make the time available for that teacher to have that conversation with you. As I always do, I wanted to talk about attendance and freshmen on track. So our attendance rates are still holding strong. At Proviso West, we're at 90.6 with no decreases over the past few weeks. At Proviso East, we're at 89.3, which is just 0.2 away from the last time we spoke about this 2 weeks ago. So they were at 89.5, now they're at 89.3. And at PMSA, they were at 95.8, and now they're at 95.5. So not huge shifts downwards, but still a shift downwards for 2 of our schools. So parents, please, if you have a child at East, if you have a child at any of our schools, please make sure that they come to school every single day. It is so important. And getting to school, especially for our freshmen here, is what's leading towards our freshmen on track. So I have 2 data sets I want to share with you, how we ended first quarter and where we are now. And so I know there was a push towards the end of the year, towards the end of the quarter, to really make sure students were getting their work in, doing their makeup exams or what have you. So at East, at the end of the first quarter, we were at 78.4% of our freshmen on track. We're down to 67.6. So that tells me that we still have some work to do, right? I'm confident that we'll get those children back to being on track and passing those classes. But for whatever reason, they took a dip. Maybe, it's early in the quarter. Maybe they failed a test or did something. But there's still time to make it up. But you cannot wait until the last minute to try and fix grades. So if there's a problem, start talking to your child. You got that bag report today. So see what they're failing and have a conversation with them. Have a conversation with the teacher. Let's put a plan in place so your child does not fail any of their classes. At West, we ended the quarter at 87.9. And right now we're at 77.7, so about a 10% drop. So, some of our freshmen again are easing in, it seems, to the second quarter. We need to make sure that they finish strong like they did in the first quarter. And a PMSA, it's down slightly from 94.8 to 91.5. So I am confident that, this is something we're looking at weekly, we're looking at attendance at daily. I'm confident that these numbers will start rebounding. The next thing I want to talk about, in case you missed my messages or my constant emails or me screaming on top, sit on top of this roof and just screaming, we had a really great state report card results. The results, what I'm talking about, the greatness are the growth that we made. We still have so much work to do. Looking at our schools, depending upon what subject we're looking at, we still have 80% or 90% of our students below grade level. That's not great. But when I see growth scores like this, that means that we're not going to stay there forever. And so we need to continue to do the work that we do. We need to have the hard conversations that we have. We need to make the decisions that are best for kids. And we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to give our kids the best options out there. So looking at Proviso West, I'm going to run through these numbers one last time, and then I'll be done, and then I'll focus on next year. But looking at what these amazing group of educators at Proviso West were able to do last year, in ELA, the growth, so not that the proficiency, right? Proficiency is still low. I think we're in the low 20 percentiles for ELA, but the amount of growth we showed, moving from 6.6 up into the 20s, that's 225% growth in 1 year alone. In math, it was even higher, 293% growth in math. Looking at the rates of students passing the AP exam with a 3 or higher, so as you know, the AP test is a 1 through 5. To get a score of a 1 or a 2 is really considered not passing, because no college is going to accept that. You need to get a 3 or above. There was a 300% increase in students passing at a 3 or above on the AP rates at Proviso West. We also saw a 20.2% drop in chronic absenteeism and a 27% drop, all the way down to 46% for chronic truancy. So parents, thank you. Students, thank you. You did a much better job last year of getting to school, and we need that to continue. We're still at, we're still twice the national average, or twice the state average. So while we've made significant growth, we're not 4 times the average or 3 times the average anymore. There's still a lot of work for us to do. At Proviso East, we saw some great results also. 20% growth in ELA, almost 28% growth in math. We saw an 80% increase on students passing the AP exam with a 3+ or higher, and we saw a significant decrease for them, about a 25% in growth, or a 6.1% drop in chronic absenteeism. And PMSA continued with really strong, really strong measures. We saw 61% of growth in ELA, 48% growth in math, and looking at freshmen on track last year, 95.9% of freshmen at PMSA, our current sophomores, finished the year on track. That's just a tremendous number. So really, congratulations to students. Congratulations to teachers. Thank you for all your help. Thank you to parents for your partnership with us. I encourage you to partnership with us even deeper. And let's just continue the great work that we saw happen last year. Let's continue it this year. When I'm thinking about ways that we can connect, we have this Mondays with Mohip, right? And I love this because you could ask any question you want right now. But say you have a question on a Thursday and you're sending the question and you're not getting an answer. Go to the district website, hit the contact button at the top or off to the side where it says, "Let's talk," connect with us. Hit either one of those buttons. You're going to go to the connect. You're going to go to Let's Talk. And you're going to be able to put your question in writing that I see every single question that comes in, and it's assigned to a staff member. And I am on this dashboard twice a day, making sure that you get a response within 24 hours, right? And not only do you get the response, but then you could rate us on our response to make sure that you're getting everything that you need, or that you're getting the response in a timely manner. And if you don't like how we responded to you, you could tell us. If you like how we responded, which I hope you do, you could give us a rating out of 10. And right now our ratings are in the 9s. So we overall, we seem to be responding well and working with our community well, which is everything I want. Timely and respectful. That's what we're aiming for. So if you're not getting the answers, go to Let's Talk. And I encourage you to constantly go to Let's Talk, because that's where you're going to get most likely the fastest response you can get. Any question you want, we'll get in there and we'll try our best to get an answer for you in a timely manner. Just a few other things I want to update on, and then we'll get to the questions. Today, I was at Proviso West. If you go to our website, you could see some really great, amazing pictures. We had that first really big celebration for Dia de los Muertos, and being able to see all the ofrendas that the students created and getting to talk to them and hear the stories around, some of them put, sports athletes and pop stars. I saw Michael Jackson. But then others put really personal things, right? And for those of you that don't know about this custom, it's a way to honor those that have passed, and putting food out and putting water out for them as just a way of remembrance. It was great to see our community come together and share share something that's cultural with our students, with the entire masses. So it was really fun. Thank you to Jeremy Christian. And to all the teachers over there that put this together. I'm not going to be able to name them all, so I'm not going to try, but it was a large group of teachers that came together to make this happen. And we had food, and we had a mariachi band from Morton East or West. I'm sorry, I don't remember. East. And, it was just great to see these things, and makes me wish we had our own mariachi band. So maybe that's something we could do in the future. I don't know. But it was really great to see our students interacting with students from another high school, and then just sharing in culture, regardless of whether that was your culture or not. Just learning from each other, learning about culture. It was an amazing experience, and I absolutely loved it. Now, not to say East and PMSA didn't do things as well, just not today. I know last week East had their Hispanic Heritage Celebration. A few weeks prior, PMSA did. It's all on the website if you want to see pictures. Just great, amazing things happening, really celebrating our students. And listen, we don't need a special designating month to celebrate the culture that's in our schools. This is something we should be doing all the time. It's something that, we honor, and I think we'll continue to look for ways to do these, these fun educational experiences for our kids. Just a few updates, and then we'll get to questions. This Thursday is college night for juniors. Right? I looked at the calendar and I was like, why are we doing a junior college night? There's only a few around here, but nope. Reading is fundamental, and I didn't have it this time. It's about college night for our current juniors, right? So if you have a student that's a junior, here's an opportunity to see what you should be thinking about and what you should be doing over, this school year moving into senior year, to make sure you're getting your children ready for college, if that is something that they want to do. And listen, if you're not sure, or if they're not sure if they want to do it, come anyways and do the steps anyhow, because you never know, at the last minute you might decide they might decide at the last minute that they want to go to college. This weekend at PMSA, they're playing, they're doing the play The Wizard of Oz. I'm not gonna lie to you, that movie scares me more than anything on earth. It is, I'm going to come, right? I'm going to barrel through it. I'll probably bring my children with me to keep me company, because it's, it does still scare me to this day. But I'm really excited to see all the hard work that the students have put into this performance. I was I think it was Alice in Wonderland. Was that last year or this year? It all kind of runs together, probably last year. And just, it was really great to see the work that they did. And so now I'm looking forward to this. It's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Whether you have a child in the play or not, whether you have a child at PMSA or not, come support our district, come support our students, and enjoy this time to come watch their creativity. In this play. And then the last thing is, probably the best thing, right? There's no school on Tuesday as we're honoring our veterans. So we do have school on Monday. I'm fearful that our attendance rates are going to be low, because people might try and make this a 4-day weekend. It's not. Please come to school on Monday. There is still a full day of school. We have lots in store, lots of learning, great activities planned, great lessons planned. So please don't miss out on school on Monday, but know that you will be able to rest on Tuesday, because we will not have school that day. And if you're up for it after being so well rested on Tuesday, come to the board meeting at 7:30 on Wednesday. That's all I have for this week. We're getting closer and closer, down just 15 minutes. I'm getting better and better, right? Only 15 minutes. So hopefully You don't have to sit through 17 an hour of me jabbering away about things. So here I really want to, talk about the questions that you might have. I see Stacy's asking what time on Thursday. I'm assuming that's for the college night. I looked at the calendar. It's at 7 p.m. But there is information that's going to be coming out from the district around that day. So stay tuned. We will be sending out messaging, but on the calendar it does say 7 p.m. And again, this is going to be at each school. I know in the past we've done these virtually, but these are going to be at the schools. I have Christy with me here today because I can't, scroll through all of this and try and talk. So Christy, do we have any other questions in here?
A parent, I believe it was Stacy again, was inquiring if there was any decision being made about having a separate graduation for the MSA classes at East and West.
So we're not looking at a separate graduation for the students at PMSA. I'm sorry, at MSA. But what we are doing is we want to make sure that we have a way to distinguish them. And so we will have special regalia for our students at PEMSA and PWMSA. I know there's been some confusion in the past, so we made sure to bring this to the board and get their blessing as we move forward. But also we wanted to memorialize this so it doesn't change from one year to the next. So we do plan on having special regalia for them, but we will not have a separate graduation for them.
There's one other question. Somebody is curious if our students are being affected eating more or less through the weeks with the benefits of SNAP and so forth being affected.
Yeah, so I don't have data on that, but I would imagine that some families will be going through some food insecurity because of some decisions that were made at the federal level. I did reach out to the Westchester Food Bank, and they were able to send me information. We sent that information out in newsletters and through emails. If you need it, please let me know.
Food pantries listed on our website.
And we also have food pantries listed on our website. So if you just go to our website and go into the search and say food pantry, it'll take you right to it. But then the email that we sent out also had a listing, not just of the food pantries here in Westchester, but also around the entire neighborhood. If you do know of a family that is struggling with food, I'm going to say this again. If you do know a family that is struggling with food, please let me know, and we will work. We will do everything we can to help feed them or get supports and resources and information so that we'll make sure no one goes hungry. It's the last thing we want for any of our students, but also, we do have free food and breakfast for most of our students. So for all of our students. So if school is a great place to come and get fed if you are in that situation. But please let us know if you're struggling and you're not able to find food. We will connect you with resources to help.
That is it for questions.
And that is it for questions. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I'm sure, man, it is Mondays with Mohip. It is not Fridays with Mohip. Have a great week, and I will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.